Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to No Need for Apologies. I'm Derek Gaines.
I'm Dave Temple.
And we have new merch. Pull up that black on black Nnfa hoodie to go with the
Black Air Force One.
Changing the narrative. We're changing the narrative. So make sure you get your black on black hoodie with your black Air Force Ones to be a good person this Black History Month. All right? One of them.
No need for apologies. No need for apologies. No need for apologies.
Let's go. Hey.
All right.
What's going on, man? Welcome to No Need for Apologies. I'm the God.
And I'm the great.
And we got to have fun.
You got to speak in front of the mic.
Oh, yeah.
This nigga too cool.
Starting the whole shit over.
This motherfucker too cool. Run that back, please. Run that back. Dave too cool for school.
Jimmy Martinez.
Yeah.
Yo, Mike.
Yeah. I've had a few of those.
I don't read the script. Script read me. That's what we were saying. I don't read the script. Script read me. We were saying last week.
Hey, all right. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Dave Temple.
And I'm Derek Gaines.
Welcome to this episode of No Need for Apologies.
No need for apologies.
We are here, the Black Air Force One gang.
Black Air Force One.
In effect, you see the sneakers on the table.
Put the sneakers in there. Yep.
Changing the stigma.
Changing
it's
the
good
narrative.
and evil. It's the yin and the yang.
But now, this is the yang and this the yin. We're going to make the black one good and the white one bad.
Black History Month,
You
ladies and
say
gentlemen.
fuck shit, we throw the white shoe at you. You say some fly shit, we throw the one that's supposed to incriminate you. That's the good one.
So, for those of you who don't know, check the last episode. Make sure, all right, we are changing the narrative of Black Air Force Ones for Black History Month.
Yeah.
Go out, get yourself a black pair of
a
Air
black
Force
pair.
Ones, the low top, and go do a good deed. Film yourself helping an old lady cross the street.
Absolutely.
Film yourself doing your taxes on time, people.
Absolutely.
Film yourself, I don't know, paying a parking ticket.
Paying a parking ticket. Buying some groceries for a hood bitch. I don't know. What's another
We
good
can
thing
do
you do?
it. We can do it.
A food drive. Serve some soup in these bitches. They already built for the kitchen.
Show
so
yourself
get
waiting
that
in line to get tested for COVID.
COVID tests, huh? Take somebody to Dave and Buster's when it opened back up. Give
love
them
it.
tokens.
Make a nurse wear them while they're giving vaccines.
There you go. Vaccination shoot 2021. You know you've been vaccinated with a pair of
We
these
did
bitches
it,
on.
Joe. We did it. Oh, man.
All right.
And speaking of we did it, we did do it. We crossed 2,000 subscribers,
We
ladies and
crossed
gentlemen.
2. We got 2K.
All
Thank
right.
you.
So, you know what that means? You guys have unlocked the Great Boy Special, man.
Special coming out.
Valentine's Day.
Day. You watch it on the Nnfa YouTube page. It's going to be fantastic. I shot it in my garage with 11 family members as my audience. We was in quarantine and I was bored. My mom was like, you know, I got a couple cameras. I can get you one of them shitty mics. You can just do it in the house since you're bored. And I know you love comedy. So my mom put on a little talent show for your boy. And it's going good in South Jersey. That's what it was.
We're going to release that February 14th right here on
Right
our
here.
YouTube channel for No Need for Apologies. But let's get to our guests,
Talk
man.
about the gas.
Holy
Talk
shit.
about the gas.
This is good, man. This is an OG. This is one of our OGs.
A
Not
Philly
only in
OG.
podcasting, but, you know, definitely in comedy out of the Philly scene. Give it up for Big J. Oakerson,
Big
man.
J.
Yeah,
Oakerson.
guys, what's up?
I'm all right, man. Pink now. Is this pink, red?
It's red, I think. It'll
Hot
become
red.
Pink. Hot red.
Red.
It will become pink, won't
These
it?
GaSDigital 4Ks really pick it up, though. It's almost pixelating.
It will be. And when it's pink, you're just going to keep rolling with it, right? You'll just deal with it.
Yeah.
Big J.
Yeah.
I'll just go with it. And then it'll turn blonde, and then we'll start over again.
There
I'll
you
get
go.
made fun of it for every phase.
And we never understand where that comes from.
I've had to make decisions in life based on things. It's so funny, the insults I get online, or just ball busting rather, is like people going like Jay's dressed like the coolest middle schooler and all that kind of like, you know. I can't argue with them, but it's sort of right.
Yeah.
Everything in high school I would have done, I wouldn't do. I've been, since I walked in, obsessed with Derek's Just Hood.
Just hood.
Zip up Just Hood.
It's like a Dickie hood. See?
But I'm saying it's like, it's a bold fashion choice.
But
and
no, it
fashion
goes
is a
with the jacket.
playground.
It
Yeah.
goes with the jacket. It goes with the jacket.
That's the whole thing.
I'm
Everything
saying-
is bold. Yeah.
It's
Right,
bold.
it's a bold statement, and I love it. But I say I'll do it now. But every time I do something, especially as I get older, it's coming back to like I got like a second hole in my nose the other day.
Yeah, you're a rock star, man.
But I'm
The
saying,
other day,
Yeah. Like, a couple weeks
that's
ago.
recent.
A couple weeks ago. Yeah, the second one.
That's recent.
I went with
The
my
other day is
daughter.
recent.
Me and my daughter had daddy-daughter nose piercing day.
Holy shit! Really?
Yeah.
That is actually dope, though. That's actually really dope.
She's 18 now, so I mean.
Oh wow, it's
better
been
than
a long
a
time.
tattoo. She wants a tattoo, and I'm giving her the whole like. I'm not saying don't get tattoos ever. Just don't make the decision on them now.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
all my ones I got when I was a teenager. I mean, it's funny now because I just have them because I keep them because they're stupid
Yeah.
and ridiculous and kind of funny. But like at the end of the day, like I would have much rather just made decisions that were like,
Yeah, 'cause
this is
that's on
really
you.
nice forever. Isn't Pete? Pete's kind of going through that. Like,
He's
hates
taking all
95%
of them
his
off.
tattoos. Yeah,
He's taking them all off. They're fading away too. It's strange to
He's
strange
doing
to
it
watch.
already.
Hey.
You ever seen like
It's like
you ever
crazy
see watercolors? You ever see
Yeah.
watercolors when and it's dripping down the like it's coming out of them.
Wow.
It's weird.
It's crazy painful.
Yeah, I
to
hear
get it removed. So
I
I,
hear
mean, like, I'm surprised he really wants them off. Dude, I watched the
It's more.
documentary.
You think it's more painful than getting them in? Because it was kind of
severely.
painful getting.
I hear
them in,
it- they're worse
it's
getting them
burning
off.
it off. Yeah,
Huh.
it's burning it off. So there's a documentary. They made a movie about it that was all right, but the documentary itself is great, called Erasing Hate, and it's a guy who was a white supremacist, like big skinhead guy, and then like he just met a girl who just like he liked the girl enough. She had like kids, and it was like she just did enough. Like, yeah, I really like you, but like, what is this thing? I just started like just chopping through, like like the teacher in American History X. He's just chopping through like. You think every black person's like that? When it's like, and he's going like, well, no, I guess not. There was two cool guys in high school, But this guy, he was so into it, and most of those guys. Not that I feel bad for white supremacists at all, but any white supremacy thing is just like a gang member joining. Like you're in a place where like you're bullied or picked on, and then you're like, well, how can I feel like I'm like better than what I mean, and not be afraid anymore? And then you join these like crazy
like
things.
Remy from Higher Learning. He just
Exactly.
wanted
He's
to.
tired of getting his ass
He
kicked.
just wanted a place to lay his bald head.
He tried with the black chick before that. It didn't work out.
It was probably like, that's probably like the most accurate, like, they did like
Yeah,
in a
Remy
thing,
needed a place.
But it was just like, will someone hang with me? And they're like, if you hate black people hang with you, he goes, that's easy enough. And but so this guy in this documentary, he's covered,
Okay.
head to toe. I mean, literally his face and everything with like racist or white
But
supremacist
all
tattoos.
the white Christian
And
shit.
So the whole thing is him telling his story.
There you go.
Yeah, and him telling his story and going and like it's a really great story. Like he's turned it around, man. But like getting all that off, like he wants it off because it's crazy painful. Look, it's like they show the whole it's like laser. So like you watch like the skin like bubbling up. It's like burning it. Oh yeah,
That
There you go.
motherfucker like Paul Verzi.
So yeah,
Yeah.
we find out Paul Verge used to be a raging
That
skinhead.
motherfucker look like Paul fucking Verzi. Verzi.
But yeah,
was
you
a
gotta,
racist.
but you gotta want those shits off. To
Holy
like,
shit.
Yeah.
I mean, but to make those decisions, when I used to drive strippers and escorts to bachelor parties.
That shit used
Yeah,
to be
I
great.
remember
I mean, the
hearing about
stories.
this
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. And when I did that one time, it was all in Philly, and I went to a place one time, and the bachelor was him and his brother, I guess, both had like a lot of like. This is years ago, so maybe getting them removed or covered. I don't know why they hadn't done that yet. I guess, but like they had a bunch of like SS and swastikas and shit. And it's like a guy like I was not that I was raised religious Jewish at all, but like with my Jewish grandmother and mom. You know what I mean? So like whenever I see that, I definitely have like a reaction where I'm like, not that I'm like, I'm gonna kick this guy's ass, just like already just like fuck this dude.
Yeah.
But and I also brought strippers that were like not. I think one was like Puerto Rican and one was white. So it was like one of those like, is this like a setup?
Oh shit.
And you get in there, but the guests, all his buddies were like everything. You know what I mean? Mixed with like Hispanic, black, and but they had these tattoos, and I asked like one of like the black guys at the party, I'm like, hey, you guys are all your boys, like what's the story? And he goes, oh, they were fucking idiots in high school and like got pulled into like that bullshit. And now
Yeah.
they fucking are stuck with these tattoos like assholes. They're almost like, yeah, it's Jimmy, he's a dumbass. We love him though, you know?
They're not scared. Because I have friends like that now that have like face tattoos and shit like that. That was one of my earliest jokes in comedy was about like going to Rite Aid and seeing the person with the teardrop tattooed on his face.
Yeah.
But this is like the guy at the register.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, all right, so you're expecting me to believe you turned your life around that fast? Or is this a fashion
Nigga,
thing?
I'll do you
Or
one
like,
better.
what
There's
is
a
it? Like-
picture online of a judge with a goddamn skull. She got both arms skulled the fuck out. She a judge now. She went to jail and she studied law and now she...
Wasn't that always one of the best jokes? Wasn't Joe? Is it Joe Brown or which was the one where it was like my time spent in prison? You're like prison. Now you're a TV judge.
That's Judge Mathis.
Judge Mathis. Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was in the Chicago gangs,
He called everybody a crackhead. That was That's a crackhead right there. I understand. You remember JoJo Mathis? Yeah, I remember him.
He had a big war with Wendy Williams over calling her a crackhead. He was right on her.
Wendy crazy. I saw the Lifetime.
I watched. That was, by the way, that was a double feature in my house that night with guests. I had people over to watch. I have become consumed by Wendy Williams. I knew her. I did like some of her Caroline shows before and stuff.
Oh yeah, me too. When I first started,
when she was still with Kevin.
When Capone was still hosting, and Charlamagne was there. Yeah.
When I first started comedy, she was still in Philly on radio.
Okay.
And everybody didn't like her because she would call everyone gay. She would say everybody was gay.
Yeah. She would test that out.
So and then she was back up in New York, and then she got the TV show, and I always just kind of like discounted her thing. And even when I don't know, I like her thing, dude, that chick is unscathed. She just moves through. And I mean, the way she is to her guests on that show, watch her with cooking people.
Damn.
We've actually talked to the girl. We talked to the girl like she was a hostage, the chef on Bonfire.
Yeah.
We talked to her like a hot. We go, are you okay? Do you need help? Wendy has on the show spit her food out when the lady's showing and this is the mac and cheese with the bacon bit topping, and she'll be like, oh, I don't like that.
And there's footage of that shit?
It's just live on the show. Yeah, they don't give a shit. So and she has dead air nonstop on the show.
But yeah, man.
But I love it. I've become like I went and go
what
like.
Do you think
what's
that
this
is?
Because
what is the appeal? Yeah, but what is it? Like, because I wouldn't think that's the package of it. You know what I mean?
It's all like her whole thing is like come to me. I think Patrice said that too. It's like come to me. You'll figure it out, and then you'll come to me eventually. I think I did that. I started watching the show because I'd bring people. I go. Yo, look how we're on the bonfire. We do like
she's ridiculous.
Look how ridiculous she is. Because so does her show. Like she'll sit in that chair and then she'll be like, "Little Bow Wow's in the news again." And then she'll just go, "Little Bow Wow." And then her nervous like audience lady, like that's all jacked up on coke. She'll be like, "I know, right? Like what is this?" She says, "I don't even know this boy." And like it just goes nowhere.
Yeah,
it's
but
dead air.
Like, I love
and they cut their audience doing her audience is her staff now, and they just like what's great about them. They look like they're talking about changing fracking laws in the audience because like she says something like "Little Bow Wow," and they're like, and it shows them they're like,
it's like town hall face.
Yeah. Like,
fuck.
We do have to change these things.
Yeah, because I never got it.
Same as like the people in the pulpit with the preacher.
Yeah.
Like when a preacher's just gone ape shit, and they're still just there, just. What is it? Call and response, just and it's like, yo, are y'all even hearing this?
Yeah, man. Sometimes preachers get all crazy. You bitches need to pull your dresses down. And nah, man, because I like Wendy in Philly because at least she was just a chubby bitch with no ass, right? That was the Wendy I kind of fucked with.
Sure.
But then when the breast implants came and she started losing all the weight because her husband started stressing her out. She looked like a creature from Dune. You remember Dune, like a bitch out the sand. Like she had that face.
She had moments that I thought, especially I watched a documentary after too that you remember. I was like, oh yeah, she was like kind of cute when she was in Philly and had like the four like ponytails.
She made a cameo in the first season of Martin, and I was like, she's kind of bad. Good for her.
She just kept carving her face up.
Yeah,
but she's just like, I mean, she sits in that show and tells people. First of all, the first half hour is she just does the Hot Topics thing. And then she goes commercial, comes back, and Zoom interviews somebody, or I guess will interview someone in person if it's normal times. Then the last two segments are her in the audience, answers like 2 emails, then comes back and tells you who's on the show tomorrow, then comes back and the show's over.
Yeah.
Those shows, and what's captured me about, it's so funny. I mean, I was always home during the day, but just like when your days aren't as full as they were through this quarantine, like going back to like Springer, the funniest was the thing on Springer now is like that the price for going on with your fake stories are all fake.
Yeah.
Those stories.
I met some of them people when I went over there. I was doing something on the other studio.
Oh yeah.
And I met some of those guests, man. Oh man.
But the price for going on that show to me is the funniest part is I'd love to see live is the end when the audience this wasn't always the thing, but now like they all sit up there like a firing squad on stage and the people in the audience go, these are people in the streets, like, you know, like a big hulking black dude on stage wearing like a purple suit, you know what I mean? And I have a question for broke ass Steve Harvey over there.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, let me ask you a question. Do you have to fry this pig before you eat it? You know, with his girlfriend, and they go, and they'll be like, oh, and the guy's like, what did they say? What did he say? I didn't hear. What's up, dude? And he's gonna sit there and eat that shit. They go, I have a question
Yeah.
for that big fat whale in the corner over there.
It was encouraged, yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing I've ever been to like that was the Apollo. I went to Apollo
Yeah,
once as
yeah.
an audience member.
Yeah.
And they allowed us to like double fist dark liquor and then go into the audience. And it's just, this can only end
That's
in
how they do
ruin.
reality TV. They just get them all boozed up and send them all
Yeah,
their way.
man.
I still want to do. I
I
want to
used
do
to-
my next crowd work thing I want to do the end of an Apollo amateur night and just go out and not even say what it is I'm doing and just do like an hour of crowd work and
Yeah.
see if like I think the first 20 minutes will be like a battle, but I think I'll get them by the end. It'll
Yeah.
be so fun.
Yeah.
Because dude, the Apollo, I wanted to do that so bad since I saw it was a white dude came out to do stand up.
Okay.
I don't even know if he did good enough, but as soon as he walked out, they were like, "Give it up for what?" And he was like a dorky,
Yeah.
like, skinny little guy wearing like a short sleeve button down shirt and khaki pants.
Yeah.
And he came out and he rubs the fucking thing or whatever.
And they
And
probably just
I think
wailed on
they
him.
started booing. They started booing before he got to the mic. Before he got to the microphone, and this guy just goes, he like looks left and right, and then somersaults just once and gets back to the mic, and they went, yeah. I was like, oh shit. I'm like, they turn on, so they will
do a
turn on a
flip.
dime. You will get them
Yeah.
back.
Do a flip.
Dude.
All you gotta
Because,
do is
and I'm
flip.
telling you, it's a weird thing that took over me when I was in that audience. I was just drunk going with the flow. I was booing shit. I didn't even,
That didn't
Just
even
like-
deserve it.
Y'all
probably.
booing? We boo. I boo. Like, I don't know. I'm drunk and I'm going with it. And that
Yeah,
shit is fun to be mean that way, you
Did
know?
you get a celebrity appearance at all? Because that's what I always think would be the best about it. It's like all of a sudden a new edition comes out in white suits, and you're like, oh shit, it was worth waiting.
Oh, I never.
Oh no, because
I never
wasn't
got the
even,
chance.
Yeah, mine wasn't even like that. Mine was in like an auxiliary city. These were like people.
Oh, that's hilarious.
That's crazy.
That's the gauntlet that they were putting them through.
And that's New York.
No, we were in Pittsburgh.
Oh, so it was like a.
This was like to get to the show.
Oh,
you know
okay,
what I
I
mean?
got you.
But they still filled
You
up
was
a theater.
preliminary booers.
Yeah.
You was in the preliminary round
Yeah.
because that shit on Springer and all that shit. That's in Connecticut. That's
yeah,
like
yeah.
what Stanford.
But they bus people from here.
Okay.
Yeah. Now the thing about that is what you were saying as far as like the dead air and stretching it out. That's kind of what you have to do with like you're filling dull people during the day.
Okay.
They need like they're not going to complain about dead air.
Okay.
No, not at
Dumb
all.
people don't know. Like, have you ever had to go back somewhere that you normally at this stage of your life you're like, I'm not interactive with them. If I can pay for it and I don't have to deal with it, I won't.
Sure.
Okay.
But some things are just no way around. And you got to go to like a government building. Post office is a good example, right? It's just
DMV.
like, oh, wow, this is crazy, the rules that they have to follow, but those people are used to being herded like that.
Right.
And you're like, is this really necessary? And they're like, oh, yeah, it's necessary. And you're
Very.
like, Jesus Christ. People are that fucking dumb.
Yeah, man.
The dead air, though, I also think with her speaks just like her comfort and like confidence almost in what it is. Because I always loved Bennington, who's like a fucking genius.
Yeah. I love Ron.
Of
Shout out to
radio.
Ron.
Yeah, Ron Bennington is such a genius of radio. But I mean, some of my favorite like laughs are just like, you know, Chris Stanley will say something that he just doesn't agree with, or when it was Ron and Fez would say something, and just you'd hear nothing. You'd almost think the radio went off. You'd like look at the radio, and he would just go, "Yeah," and it would just make me laugh so hard because like he's not in any kind of rush. And if you ever been in the studio with him, he has his foot up on the table.
Yeah.
And he's like,
I used to
yeah.
think he was disinterested in me.
no, he's just that comfortable, man. He's that cool.
Yeah, that's a cool place to
He
be.
wears
Like,
shades here and
Yeah.
are you getting there on stage? Are you getting there like where you're kind of like your room awareness is low and you're just talking?
But your room awareness been
No,
low.
my room awareness. What do you mean? Because I almost
like-
gonna say it's high because like I'm just like.
Oh yeah, I
well,
take that
I mean,
back.
like when like Wendy and them take pauses, like when older people do that, they're almost not even performing for the crowd. They're just talking out loud. They're thinking out loud.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean like I do what I have more that I like. I just did a show in Rhode Island, Providence, Rhode Island, last week or 2 weeks ago,
Okay.
and up there it's like they had a couple moments on stage where it was that it's like it didn't go whatever it was something I said something that in my head was funny. Yeah, this all comes back from like Patrice's advice too, but it was funny whatever it was. But I said a word, and it's so gross, but like it was a woman. It was I remember what it was. It was a woman saying. Something like her boyfriend and her like a new relationship.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, he doesn't care at all at this point. You can come there right after work. You did a workout in the middle of the day. I go, he'll go do whatever he has to do, even with all that sweat and run cheese. And the crowd didn't laugh at that. the crowd didn't laugh, and but I said like it was in the zone. I was stoned too, but I mean like in the zone of like it didn't get a laugh at all, and then just the next 5 minutes was me going, yeah, it's like I'm stoned, so maybe like I put that out there too bold and assume I go. Let me explain. What I was picturing was her going to work and then the workout. And when you work out and then the sweat, and I basically describe what like I go creating like a cheesy situation down there that I just jumped to and referred to as run cheese, thinking you guys were going to get that. So I'll do it again. Now that you know, he'll eat her pussy even if it's down a bunch of sweat and run, and they just laugh. And like they're not even laughing at the word run now, just that I took the time to explain it all. So that's like.
Manchego cheese.
It's the biggest. It's the biggest. I think step to get in comedy is like to not be afraid of like the silence. That was such the biggest thing. Like the silence, man. I remember at the Laugh House, dude. Like the deafening panic I would feel when they. When they didn't laugh at that point. I don't know if my eyes ever left the light. Like just staring, waiting for that red to come on. Especially if somebody in the back of the room would do like
let me
corny ass white boy. Someone yell from the back of the room, corny ass, and I just didn't know how to handle that yet. And you're just like, shut up.
If you didn't know, the Laugh House was one of the hardest, blackest clubs in Philadelphia at the time. Second front.
So rewarding though. When it was great,
rewarding
it was
when you got them.
Yeah.
Oh, when you got them.
Now,
when you rocked on the weekend.
Did you have enough support in the room when you were doing those rooms? Like, did you have other comics that you were traveling with that could give you that comfort level? So, like, being at the Laugh House.
The Laugh House was great because it introduced me to so many people who had rooms and shows at clubs or bars, whatever, in the black circuit in New York. That was nice because I'd see, like, brand new New York white dudes go on those shows and, like, Donnell Rawlings and those guys, like Will, give him not bad intros, but just like try to hang in there with him, guys. I saw him in the back. He's nervous, but I was
Takes
able to
a lot of heart.
I was able to walk in and like talent and those guys from the Laugh House would be like, "Oh, good, you came up." Like, he would tell me to come up and do like his New Jack spots on the Sunday show. So like, yeah, the comics were rooting for me, generally speaking. And when they didn't, like, it was Crazy Sam up in he used to do a thing called the Uptown Comedy Store, I think it was called.
Yeah.
It was like the competition of the Uptown Comedy Club, and I was like, Crazy Sam doesn't give a shit. And I went up. I was waiting backstage. What they were finishing up was a male stripper show, like an intense one.
That's usually what we do.
And then Mike Epps had just popped in, so he's going to go on at some point too. And they announced that already, that he's here. He's going to go on. So now everybody's just sort of waiting for that.
Mike,
yeah, but they're putting everybody else up first,
right,
to get him out of the way. And that guy, Crazy Sam, brought up. I mean, whoever went before me, I think did good. I remember, and I went up, and just right away it was going bad. Mm-hmm. And I remember it was like in 2 minutes. I remember somebody saying something like, like "fuck you, get off the stage," and I was like I said that like a stock line of like answering that wasn't true though. I go, "I don't give a fuck. I'll get off stage right now." He goes, "They already paid me."
That's the hugest stock line.
Yeah, I already got my money. I don't give a shit at all. And then and then the guy goes, "Well, now you got to get to your car, motherfucker." And I was like, "Oh, he's right." And then the music just started playing on me, and Crazy Sam comes up, and he like kind of gets like my arm right here, like nicely. He goes, "Man, don't worry about it, dude. I'm just get you out of there." And I was like, "Oh." I would have just done it, you know what I mean? So I was like, in 2 minutes, you're almost like, why did I even come here? Even if it's bad, you know what I mean? I was like, maybe I could have turned it around. So I was like, oh, all right, man. And I went backstage, and he's like, don't worry about it, man. And then, as soon as he almost lets go of my arm, and he turns around, he goes, "If that motherfucker gets paid, I'm going to whoop somebody's ass." And then I stayed there with Dorian Noel was with me and Kurt Metzger.
Dorian, the legend. Holy shit. Yeah.
Dorian Noel and Kurt came with me just to kind of hang.
Right.
At this point, we were going
so
up.
you did have some backup in the room, like, because that gives you a little bit of...
There's a video somewhere out there where Patrice called Kurt Quentin Tarantino.
You can find it on YouTube. It's great. It's outside of the Boston at a roast. It shows everything in that video is perfectly what the situation was and like almost like evolves to in life, because Kev was just as young, and this is me and Kurt. Keith brought all three of us up together.
Right.
Okay.
And essentially me and Kev, and then I was like, and Kurt is fucking great. And then Kurt started coming with us. But Kurt moved up pretty quick. But at this point, we were all still just coming up. And it was like, Kev, that young, months, maybe a year tops, into just hanging in New York.
Okay.
is the focus of that video. It's him and Patrice going at each other like busting balls, like a snapping contest.
Yeah.
Outside, and behind Patrice, you just see me and Kurt like this.
Yeah.
Voss is holding 2 packs of cigarettes on a big Saved by the Bell cell phone.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and it's them and Keith and them just busting. But you see Norton's super young in that video, Florentine. And then there's the back, he goes, Patrice says to Kev, he goes, Keith, he goes, you made Kev think he's so in that he thought he could co-sign dudes. And that's why he brought up Jay and Quentin Tarantino face over here.
Quentin Tarantino face. Nigga, I lost it. I was like,
Quentin
yes.
Tarantino face.
And what kind of night is this? Is this a night where you guys are driving up for the night?
That story in the car?
That particular night that video was.
It was the Barry Katz roast. They were
Oh,
doing, so
shit.
it's outside the Boston Comedy Club.
Okay.
It was an
what that
iconic
was.
video for New York comedy buffs.
Yeah, you'll
I
love
was
it.
like, damn, that shit is
It
pretty
just,
cool.
I mean, Kev's 20 years old
Yeah,
in that
little
video.
guy, Patrice just it was dope. It was a good time.
Patrice
It's like
is
what
going
we
at it.
do.
Yeah, well, we did it. We followed it. We followed it. That's why I was curious what that night was for you, because a lot of times those nights for me would have still been like driving back home in the middle of the night. You know what I mean? Like it was a.
I came at a real good time, man, with that back table. Yes, that back table.
There you go.
Yeah, you should play it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I didn't play my back. They put a stop. They were ramming you. They fucking rammed you.
You see Ball trying to sneak a couple subs in?
Wait a minute. The table is
Who's that? Who's that?
Look at Big Jay.
That's
Young
you?
Jay in the back. Looking like DJ Khaled.
Oh, yeah. I had a big silver chain.
You weren't
dude.
worried about getting your chain snatched or anything?
No, it was junk garbage anyway, that chain. But it was like, I went with like dude,
isn't
I
that-
was in the times. I didn't dress like that for like black comedy. Like I was dressing like that, or just from like friendship and time and neighborhood. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I didn't. I was one of the few white friends I had that didn't have a Wu-Tang pendant on my chain. It was like something else.
Word.
Yeah.
So it's like that was just kind of the look of the. I did every goofy thing you can go. It's what everyone just did. Or the hat with the goggles on the hat. Pretty much anything Method Man would do in a video. When I moved out of Philly, we moved to South Jersey.
Yeah.
Like the white
Same shit.
Dude, South Jersey is so much worse than Philadelphia as far as the people go.
Drugs and shit.
Drugs and shit. Dude, in Philly, the most, and I was there in 11th
SJ,
grade.
son, South Jersey.
Yo,
The most thing was like people were doing weed and drinking beer and shit like that. Like the baddest kids were doing that shit pretty much. And we moved to South Jersey, where I went from a school that was probably 80% black to 4 black kids.
Dang, what school you go to?
Triton.
Triton High, Tri High.
Just
I
for-
dated a girl from there.
And I mean, the 1 year I was there, 6 kids died from heroin. We moved out there. My brother got into heroin.
Tri
And he-
High.
It's just like,
Suburb drugs.
you know what it is? All the parents got to work. Both parents got to work to live out there because it was a step up for everybody coming from Philly.
Right.
Yeah.
That you'd get like a townhouse now.
Right.
My mom still lives in it. My mom and step-pop and family still live there. But like you get a town, but everyone has to work now.
Right.
So the kids are coming home now and they have cars and they're like, hey, you know Camden's 15 minutes away? And they will just give you crack. Or heroin, rather. Yeah.
You get it at exit 4 as soon as you come off for Kings Highway or the
Right.
Campbell Stadium.
Jesus.
I
They
dated, a
hand it
girl.
out.
I dated a girl for like 9 months. I didn't even know. And it was like, yeah, when I would come over and like babysit your brother and sisters with you, like when I'd go in the bathroom, I was doing heroin. I'm like, heroin?
Yeah.
I was around heroin? I
didn't
don't
even
know
know
if
it.
I've ever even seen heroin in my life before.
Did you
I'm
smell
like, you
something
were on
funny coming from the bottom of the door?
Yeah.
I was like, that ain't shit.
Yeah.
I had my aunt used to
You
do that
know.
shit. Yeah, my aunt used to barricade herself in her room. Oh, that smell was terrible. But we got to
Oh, she was
watch
like cooking
whatever-
it up though. Like
Yeah,
shooting
yeah.
it. Oh,
No,
the
but
girl
she was doing crack.
girl I
in the
did was
back.
snorting heroin.
Okay.
Snorting
Dude,
over.
one of the shittiest, it's just such a superficial, funny thing, but I always just love the human nature and just remember this moment in time so good. Like when me and her were breaking up, like I liked her. I didn't really want to break up with her, but I kind of had to. And,
Kinda had to.
Well, no. Here's the thing. She turned out she was on heroin. She went to like a rehab for like 3 months.
Okay.
And when she came out, she looked really good. Like she like actually like
Okay.
got in
Yeah,
shape
yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff like
Cleaned
that.
herself up.
Yeah,
All
she
right.
was like, and she was a pretty girl. So like, we were like hanging out again for a while, and then I guess she started doing it again. And me and her were breaking up, and with all the heroin abuse and everything, her mom calls me frantic one day. She goes, "I can't wake her up." And she wasn't dead. She was breathing. She was like, she won't wake up. She was just out of it that much.
Jeez.
So she goes, can you please come over? And like, so I go over and I was like, yeah. And I go up to her room and she's like passed out on the bed, breathing, you know what I mean? But like, she just, and I was like, and I'm like, man, I'm like sad we're breaking up. Like, I want to kind of get back with this girl. I'm thinking like earlier that day and now I'm standing over her body. So it's like that conflicting feeling still in this thing.
Yeah,
and I was
yeah.
like,
Holy shit.
I go, Nicole. And she goes, and I went, and as I'm shaking her, I already hit in my head. I go, I'll never get back with this girl ever again. In the middle of all that drama, a fucking fart, a pass out fart, and I was like, I'll never date this girl again.
Leaked out heroin fart ended it all. You gotta love a drug fart. That sets you straight. That gives you clarity.
It really gave me clarity.
I like to think that Jay could have been the person that would have changed her life and got it all. But that one moment just.
Yeah, I was like, I looked at her mom. I was like, she's not waking up, man.
Yeah, you got to love a motherfucker at their lowest to stay with him for that, man. Jesus Christ, man.
Well, you guys said you have to love Christine. I've been with for so many years now. It's like I've seen Christine like sick and have to throw up, but it's like, you know, I've seen all the good and bad with her best and worst. But like that, first of all, being like 17, 18 years old. So you're already kind of superficial. In
yeah,
it,
you don't really know girls poop yet.
As I said before, that's like the dude. That was funny. I think a girl got angry at me and stopped seeing me here in New York once because she had a confession with me. Like she was like, by the way, she goes, I don't tell out people this. Like I'm bulimic, and I'm like, really? And she goes, oh, you're not like shocked or like upset about that? I'm like, hey, babe, whatever keeps that ass in shape, right? like just jokingly, but like it was like so like consuming her life that she was just so upset by that.
Oh,
like
man.
for a while. I'm like, hey, babe, whatever keeps that ass in shape. I don't know. We're like 23.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah, we brush off shit so easily, and they're holding on to it, and it's fucking them up in the adulthood. Like,
what do I remember from bulimia? I remember Mad TV had a sketch about it, and they had like the TV dinners. The TV dinners is out. They had something called lean bulim, right? And it was regular food, and the bitch would eat it, and then in 15 minutes she throw it up and then come out all shapely and shit. I was like, this is fucked up. Mad TV took it there. I was like, oh no.
Always Sunny did something like that too, where they had like a protein powder that made everyone vomit.
Oh, yeah.
And everyone started drinking it because they like to get ripped, like they would like to get all of the water out, and they thought their product was just making everybody buff. They were like, no, this is trash.
Fight milk.
Fight milk, is that what it was called?
Fight milk makes you strong.
Fight milk, yeah.
Jay, let me ask you this.
No.
Has there ever been a time you probably should have apologized but didn't?
But didn't do it.
For what
Anything, man. We just like to be curious because there's no need for apology. We always preach it. There's really no need for apologies.
There's really no need to say sorry.
Sometimes we know we should have, and we celebrate the fact that you didn't. It could be in anything.
I'm so quick to apologize. If I mean it, though, I guess. You know what I mean? By the time when I apologized and I shouldn't have.
No, a time that you should have apologized, but didn't.
Yeah, only because she passed away, and I love her son so much. The lady Mona, who used to own the Laugh House.
Okay.
We had it out, and I went all the way there just to hurt her. I remember I went all the way, and then I came out and told Touré was first person. I go, she's going to tell you that I'm a racist, but I'm telling you, I wanted to hurt her for what she said to me. And he was like, damn, Jay, you could have went with bitch. I go, in hindsight, I could have.
In hindsight.
But I'm telling you, she basically told me like I'm going nowhere in comedy, and I was so hurt by that. I was like, ooh.
Holy shit, Black History Month. That was a great breaking fucking story. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I remember, by the way, Nick DiPaolo, that was like his my introduction to Wanda Sykes was Nick DiPaolo saying he heard that story, and I was like, please don't say that in front of her.
Shit. What a fucking man.
Dude, the funny was me going out there doing the preemptive apology tour that would happen today. Like went out there, like Touré was first person I saw, and I'm like, Tommy Too Smooth, you're gonna hear some things about me that I'm telling you aren't true. I just wanted to hurt this lady.
You started doing damage control
immediately.
Let me just
everybody, Mr. Rod. Your wife's gonna tell you some things that it's gonna hurt your feelings. But I'm telling you, I just wanted her feelings hurt. Oh, dude, I did a whole beefy funny.
Beefy,
hear me out.
Funny.
I love you so much. I love you so much, beefy funny.
That nigga had the Michael McDonald.
I just wanted to hurt.
I just wanted
her hurt.
I just wanted her. That's fucking
Breakout.
crazy.
Come over here. Listen to me.
Rest in peace, Mama Mona. I love you so much for giving me my shot in comedy. But god damn.
And they did, man. I headlined that club. They made me a host there very fast in the feature. It was just like,
my God.
What was it?
Like
They started headlining Kev. That's all it was.
shit.
And I started saying, and I forget it was, and I don't want to like speak shitty about anybody because I always loved the comics that would come through on the weekends for the most part,
Yeah.
except for Willie RoboCop. But like for the most,
I remember those. I remember he was a special event when I was hosting. When I started hosting, when Willie came,
shitty dude, real shitty guy. But I mean,
big time.
I got to work with so many cool people in that thing, and like she did do that. But it was just like when it came down to, I think it was like the third time they had Kev like headlining, and he wasn't like anything yet. It wasn't like TV stuff at all even yet. It was just like his personality. He was winning like the open mic night stuff, and they were
Right,
headline.
right.
And I was like, wait, this is why I said about the apologies. Always like the hindsight, doing it 20 plus years now. It's like at 4 years in, because they're headlining Kev, I'm like, why aren't I headlining? And like, whatever it was, I just got under her skin enough, like bothering her, that she just had like a real like. She goes, I book headliners here, Jay, that are going somewhere in this business, and you are not going to ever be a headliner here.
Right.
And then it was just like, what was the thing in Christmas Story? Oh, fudge. Only I didn't say fudge.
I said the F
big shabam.
F blank blank blank.
So
word.
genuinely, not even for like the intent of what I was trying to do in the moment, but just like to have maybe like just piece that up to be like, hey man, I have so many stories and memories from this club. And DJ is I love DJ. I used to go to Sixers games with DJ all the time. Used to come to Skanks a bunch when we were at the Creek.
DJ, that's the one. Not who's the
a
one
DJ.
that wanted to be a comic?
Yeah.
Was that him?
DJ was in
That
the fall,
was him. He was
yeah.
Yeah. Because I remember
But
the other boy.
it was before he was ever doing. I knew him like from him, just like his name was DJ, and he DJ'd the club for the open mic night. And we used to and he was a Sixers fan. We used to go to Sixers games, and like I took him to like he secretly wanted to be into a lot of hilarious
Can somebody give me a
stuff.
glass of water? Mikey, can you give me a glass of water, please?
Thank you, Mike.
He wanted to be into a bunch of white stuff that he didn't want to tell his friends. So like he would come to me like Marilyn Manson, and he loved it. Like
Right,
Oh,
right.
shit.
So I was like buddies with DJ. So it's like the fact that I have like that weird bad blood with his mom, and she died. Like I don't know if she even gave a shit ultimately at the end of it.
Nah, probably not.
But I'm just saying, like at the end of the, because I saw her at times.
Because also, that's one of those funny things where even like, okay, if you were to come to me and tell me that, right? Like if you was to come to me out of nowhere and be like, Jay just called me something awful.
Right.
And I'd be like, well, what happened right before that?
Yeah. What was the moment?
You asked those questions.
I'm not allowed to ask that. Like, what?
goes-
How dare you ask me that?
He goes, did he kick the door and just start yelling it at you? Because I'll hate him immediately if that's what you need.
No, did you hear what I said? He called me? Get him. Like, no. What happened
I
right
always
before
ask,
that?
What happened right before?
Yeah.
I always do that. Be the bad guy.
That's like, you ever been like, you ever did something?
It's a simple cut to the core. I think I'm like that, and most I don't like. I'm like I've been in a lot of fights in my life.
Thank you, man. What?
Which is silly enough as an adult even too. But like I don't like I get too nervous with jawing too much, like back and forth. So like I'll always like if in an argument like that where I'm like this might come to a thing, I'm very much like let's see if it's coming to that thing. So I'll like say the thing that's like let's get there. At our height of our anger right now, are we fighting or are we just gonna talk shit and walk away?
Yeah,
So I
because
gotta-
okay, so
I'm like all that,
all
like, what are you gonna do, motherfucker? I'm like all that while that's happening, I'm getting scared because I'm like, I start thinking about it all. I go, I could lose this fight.
Yeah.
This guy might be a really good fighter. Or like, you know, it's like I might get hit on the thing and I hit my head on the ground. Just all the terrible things.
All the
where I'm
shit.
like, if we're doing it, we gotta just do it. You know what I mean? Like your fucking mother's a cunt. Like, let's go. Are we fighting or are you walking away?
You can't second guess because that second guess. Because
I never did a nose to nose. Like, what's up? I was like, dude,
God.
there's no way, dude. I'm like, I'm gonna get fucking uppercutted in the chin and dropped. Like I gotta
go. Just
Yeah,
we're
'cause
either
no one likes-
we're either crashing in like two bulls or we're walking away. I've never like made an aggressive like let's like throw a first. I've thrown the first punch, but I've never
it inches
I can't.
into
I don't think I've
what you
ever
gonna do, pussy?
recovered. I may have recovered a few times from a first punch, but it's very difficult.
If they catch the first one on the button,
Especially because if you're confused, like if it's a sucker punch and you didn't see it coming, you know what I mean? And that's the shit that sucks for me because I'm big. So like most people that are coming to me, they don't come with that energy of like, let's talk first. It's like a straight sucker punch.
no, that's the other thing, too. That's another like problem I thought with like being big always is like, and that's the other thing where you start getting nervous because I'm like, I'm big. And like I'm not like skilled fighter in any way, but like I'm not a pussy in like that situation.
Yeah.
But so it's like when someone comes hard at you, I'm always like, this guy knows something. Like,
But
why
you
is he coming
seem
at me?
like-
Especially if they're smaller than you, you're like, what does this guy know?
Oh, it's a big dude. You go, oh, shit.
yeah. You're like, this guy.
Well, I'm not big. I'm long. I used to just keep motherfuckers away from me.
That's it, to
Just-
keep him at bay, dude. That's the best move.
You see that? Just stay the fuck
While they got
over
they're
there.
just doing this.
Yeah. They hit your arm. I could take a few
You
arm
know
hits.
what's funny too? The acrobatics that you pull off in this chair. I don't know if you've seen any of the
I
fucking
be jumping
clips.
up in the seat.
Yeah, someone that sent the picture where you were like literally hoisted up
Yeah.
with your feet up on the fucking seat.
I'm agile.
You're able to
motherfucker.
do that
I did a lot
instantly.
of shit. I was a
Instantly.
break dancer. I used to run around, big wheel, all that. I was
Rest
in
in
karate.
peace. Rest in peace. Fucking Ozone.
I know, right? When Shabba-Doo died, I was like, God damn.
Ozone died.
Yeah.
Everyone thought Turbo was going to go first.
The little guy.
Yeah.
Poppin' Taco was his real name.
No. He was
Poppin' Shrimp.
Boogaloo Shrimp.
Boogaloo Shrimp. That's what his name is. Look at you. I'm sorry. Yeah, but no, no, Shab was that guy. I mean, do you know what he died from? I heard it was like COVID, but I don't know.
Yeah, it seemed like it was COVID. He said he was in the hospital for COVID, but he ended up, they were like, he's fine. And then like 2 days later, he was
Died.
dead.
Yeah. But no,
Fucking
Shabba-Doo.
Ozone.
Man, what do you think?
Yeah, but
I know I had an awful idea prediction based off of the Super Bowl results. Did you guys watch the game last night?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What you guys think?
What was the awful,
It was a horrible game.
Yeah.
horrible game?
Super
Yeah.
boring game.
Man,
Yeah.
oh man, they got 9 points worth of kicks.
And Brady's he's gonna retire after this, right? Like,
No.
I don't think
I
so.
don't think so.
I think I'll play to 45.
He gonna play some more.
Okay. 'Cause he's,
Now, if they come out, if he has like I don't know, I was going to say if they have a shit season next year, like he'll probably come back, try to like have a better season.
I'm
Not
just,
go on that, but it's like,
worried
yeah.
about the level of greatness that he's at.
He
You know
should
what I mean? Like, 'cause it's-
he should retire right now
But it
because
doesn't
that's
end
proven.
well if he's at this level of greatness. You know what I mean?
What you
Like nobody that's great just like retires and then just be normal.
Yeah, because you think you have to keep going.
Like it's just usually it's curtains. Like for that level of greatness, and then you just stop.
What you think he gonna do? Like,
It's a wrap. Like all right, like Kobe after he retired, it was like he tried to be normal, but it's like yo, you gotta get out of here. You
Man.
can't just be normal. You can't be that great and then just be restricted to like any kind of normal life.
Dude, that was I watched last night.
that's crazy. Okay.
Last night they did that.
I was hoping he would lose off of this.
It's on Hulu. There's a documentary on
the
Britney
Britney Spears shit. I watched it. Yeah.
Did you watch it? Yeah, that was fucking interesting. But like her whole thing would be like, in the middle of that, she'd be like, "All right, guys, now if I need about 2 years to just kind of do my own thing," and you're like, "Actually, we're gonna have cameras waiting outside." I mean, one of them was like following out of a gas station bathroom,
It was crazy.
like in a thing, and I'm like, "Yo, how do you not?" Remember when you were younger and it'd be like Sean Penn punched a photographer and broke his camera, and you're like, "What a dick!"
Yeah.
And, you're like- and then you're like, "Yo, I can't believe most celebrities aren't in jail
But the
for
fucking,
what you." I mean, every Kanye West, all the wacky Kanye West shit. The only thing I never get mad at is like he shoved a guy and threw his camera on the ground. I go, "Yo, dude, he just woke up from a plane sleep and he's trying to get in like a car."
Yeah.
and you're like taking pictures of him. He's like, "Yo, dude."
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Like the part on the interview was so funny. They was interviewing paparazzi. They was like, so what happened? And they like, so on our end, she was very irate when we found out that she was at this gas station with no hair and she was in a divorce. She was gonna lose her kids. And it was like, yeah, man, she's going through some shit. But we was trying to take the picture. Then she got out and she hit our car. How could she? I'm like, nigga, what are you talking about?
By the way, because the guy he's explaining himself. He goes, look, she just left the house where Kevin Federline wouldn't let her in to see her
yeah,
kids. He wouldn't answer
Kevin
the door.
would let to see the kids.
And we're
yeah.
following her. We followed her to a gas station where she's with her cousin, like in a Corolla.
Yeah.
Like they're just like chilling. And like they come up and the guy goes, all I did was go over there and tell her, like, Brittany, are you okay? He goes, we're worried about you. Just have a few questions for you, and then and then we're gonna totally leave you alone. He goes, how about just leave her alone in general?
Yeah,
Like, it's
no.
so weird.
They
And then
had
it
that
goes,
part.
next thing I know, she gets out and she's coming at me with the umbrella and whacks my car, and it's like,
She didn't
it's like,
really do
you
damage
just
to the
saw-
car.
You know what just happened.
Yeah.
You watched it happen. He goes, you went to her and you're like, sorry, I know this is a really difficult time, your kid's being taken away and all, but like,
But
if you could just tell me, he goes, what do you think summer fashion is going to be this year? Belly
Crazy.
tops or?
I mean, that's been a weird thing with the perp walk is what they've made celebrities have now.
Yeah.
Remember they would always do that perp walk where they take the guy out the precinct to the car and they would ask him to yell stuff. Are you innocent? It's like, do you think he's supposed to talk to you about his case in this?
The paparazzi are too entitled.
Dude, did you watch the Tiger documentary?
Of course I did.
So great. Dude, I mean, how about them following the girls and be like, he goes, what's it feel like being a homewrecker, bitch? And you're just trying to and they're like, what? I can't ask questions?
But I found out from watching the documentary, Tiger was dicking these hoes down, but making them feel like they was
Hold on, who
loved.
y'all talking about? The
Tiger
rapper?
Woods documentary.
Oh, Tiger Woods.
On
Okay.
HBO.
No, I ain't see it. Okay,
Tiger,
I gotta check it out. No, I
Tiger
didn't
was
know.
Leave
putting
here
it
today
down
and
on
watch
these
it
hoes.
immediately.
Okay.
And they all thought they was the one. That's why I was like,
Tiger.
Tiger
Good
was
for
straight
Tiger.
macking
Me and
these bitches.
Lewis,
Good for
Jake
him.
Gomez talk about that a lot. It's a problem I've had in my life historically. I've gotten way better at it in with age. But when I was young, dude, I mean, if it was like a one night thing in Albany, New York, or a thing, I was just like, not that we're seeing each other, but it's just like we should just really stay in serious touch for no reason at all whatsoever. It's I don't know.
And
It
they
always had
all
to be
felt,
something. Yeah.
Tiger got money. Tiger hated his dad, but he was coming his dad, so he tried to be like, "No, you my babe," and all this shit. And they would all get all.
Oh,
I'm
also-
Tiger's number one. Like,
Yeah,
he's
he Frankie Lyman these
the thing is,
bitches.
Frankie
because-
Lyman these hoes.
Okay.
That's what he did.
But Tiger was also able to do that, why it looked good is because something that was not a big deal for him can look so bad. He goes, hey, I'm very lonely out here, and I feel bad at the Australian Open. Like, you want to hop on a plane tonight and come to Australia for 2 weeks? And it's like, oh my God, like he's flying me to Australia. But he's just like, he hung up the phone and he was like, Isaac, book her a flight and get her in a room next to mine, but not with me, but on the same floor.
Yeah.
And he would just do that shit. But I'm saying when he was with him though, he's like a guy. He doesn't fuck, dude. That guy makes love. That's a curse.
Right. Yeah.
I have a hard
But
time.
it's
I can't
fucked
just
up,
fuck because
too.
I think if I just fucked it, I'm gonna be unsatisfied. I gotta
got to be into
I gotta
you,
have
girl.
music. I gotta have music playing, a whole thing.
Yeah.
A moderate amount of light so I can make out you, but you can't make out me. Great. I try to silhouette myself
Oils.
with TV
we
light.
need oils. Maybe a
Exactly.
tea
So
tree
it's
in
like,
there.
yeah, I have just like a fucking quick bend over this toilet in the green room. I'm gonna that would probably be
That's
That'd
enough.
probably be
That's
better
enough.
in- both of
in the
y'all.
life in many times. But I tend to be. It's like, let me tell you everything about my childhood.
Do you get caught?
Dad took off. Yeah, it's like a
you
girl
get-
just met you. Knows like my dad left when I was like 3.
That's so
It's
funny.
fine.
That's so
Do
fucking
you get
great.
fucked up like if you find out that they don't like the playing along aspect?
Yeah. If somebody
So
had
it's
more of
almost
like it would be. It makes sense. Like the way I would deal with it without falling to pieces. That you're like, well, this is probably good because I'm doing, especially because half the stuff is like behind my ex-wife's back. You know what I mean? So I'm like, this is good. That this girl is just like, yeah, we just fucked, dude. Like, stop being weird. But I'd still have like that. She must have hated it. I did
Yeah.
something wrong. Like, and she was like, no, it was a great time. But like, I don't know. You live like, I live in Portland.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know, but like, I come back every like 18-month cycle of this comedy club.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay.
And it's funny because that's the shit Drake raps about, right? Like,
Yeah.
these love affairs in multiple hotels from city to city. Like, am I the only one that hears this music?
No,
that way?
nigga. Certified
Okay.
Love Boy, you gotta understand, Drake raps because he be going on romps. It's a romp. It's like a let's feel each other out, let me love you
Yeah.
and not love. It's fake. Like
That
I've
only
done
be-
it before.
That only
I get
becomes
it.
a crime when you like got a certain level. Like, what's the threshold of money or relevance that you gotta
know,
have?
'cause right now-
there's guys in the neighborhood that have a bunch of girls sprung off like
That
that,
think they
but
the one.
they're worthless to the public, so nobody gives a fuck about that guy.
Yeah.
Like no one gives a fuck about the guy running around in the Bronx that's got like 4 girls pregnant at the
No,
same
but
time.
the world comes down on a guy who does that, who's got like a level of fame, but it's like, yeah, that's like what it is, though. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like they have to have some sort of level of something, like to bring. Yeah, but a guy in the neighborhood who has like a bunch of chicks, like it's that. Everyone he's laying love on, Like, whether it's abusive or like super sweet,
man.
whatever it is, they're it's like that guy. Because I mean,
but there's no documentary on that
No, I
guy.
hate it. I
Does
hate
he at
how
least get a mural on the wall or something?
White
Jeez.
people tried to trash him, man. And I was like, they tried to tear him down the golf.
Tiger?
Yeah. And I'm like, when I watched it, I was like, they only tearing him down because they not getting that kind of pussy.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'm like, that's just jealousy.
Dude, Fuzzy Zoller, that guy wasn't getting no pussy.
Right.
I can't. You know what's funny? I was saying like I was talking to Josh Adam Myers because he watched the Tiger documentary with me too, and I was saying I'll go, oh, remember when like was it P Diddy made the video where they made fun of like Tiger Woods' Fuzzy Zoller because like Fuzzy Zoller, I was like he got caught saying, I guess next year we're gonna have to have fried chicken and watermelon at the clubhouse.
Okay. And
then Josh he goes, I think that was like an interview, and we looked it up on YouTube. It is. He says that at a fucking. I go. Cancel culture was an overnight 0 to 1,000.
Yeah.
Because Fuzzy Zoller got made fun of in a P Diddy video. That's it. I'm like, yo, Fuzzy Zoller would be hanging in a town square right now for that shit.
Square for chicken and waffles.
You're like, what? I go. By the way, if it was such like a Howard Stern show or something, you're like, oh, they're being funny and like they're not. But the other fucking players can't say it. That's why I have a hard time with audience a lot, like fans, like especially when they go argue with like people online on like your behalf. If you ever like fans like go at somebody who's being shitty, and they're going so over the board, you're like, guys, I shouldn't have to come on here every time and be like, hey, don't call their grandmother.
Oh my God.
I'm not joking. I mean, legitimately, things like, guys, stop just typing the N-word. What are you doing? Like, how do you think this is helping? You think this is what we do? Like, you think you're supporting what we do? That's not what we do.
Somehow you've become responsible for these people. They're now your children in a room, and you're like
popping off.
You're like,
Daddy, was
I'm
that fun?
going out to do what I do.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's funny when you try to talk to, especially the people that hate us, when I try to talk to them and be like, no, it's like you're misunderstanding this whole thing. Like it's an entertainment thing we're doing. It's like ridiculous. Like when we say the worst shit, we're being like, do I have to explain that the character saying that is like ridiculous? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
And then like the fans are like, yeah, you fucking N-word cunt. And you're like, guys, it's like I get they're trying to do what they think we're doing.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, you're just like, you have no context. You're just yelling that because it looks like, so instead there's people go like, then your racist fans are going to write, and I go, no. They do, and you're like, I guess I understand your point. I don't know. It's like I don't know how to argue. It's like I want to have a debate with you, but like you guys aren't helping back there. You know what I mean? It's like we're fine. Well, I'll handle it. I'll handle it.
Back, guys. God damn. Like you remember when Eddie Murphy said people from other countries see his shit and they just know the curse words.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy, fuck you. Like it's just the same, right? That's what it is.
Dumb people only because dumb people don't hear everything.
Mm-hmm.
They hear like ping, pang, tang. Like so.
That's why you need dead air.
Right.
You need dead air so they can catch the fuck up. That's crazy.
Yeah, you gotta give them dead air. No Bow Wow.
I don't even know this boy.
No Bow Wow.
I don't even know this boy.
He ain't got no hits.
He's got do-rags. That guy does have do-rags.
Does have
do-rags.
do-rags.
Shopping for do-rags. That's an interesting hole that rappers go down. You know what I mean? Once they get to a point where like it's just weird merch.
Do-rags and chips.
I gotta jump on was it not Love and Hip Hop, the Growing Up Hip Hop? Because I watch Love After Lockup. All those shows are great, and I always see the commercials for those. But like, it really pulls up people. You're like, what? The guy from B2K, not Omarion, is on a show.
Oh yeah,
Fizz or something.
Fizz B. Razzle. Right.
Well, what's great about all those shows, all those reality, like Love After Lockup or Growing Up, all those, or Love and Hip Hop, is that like if you wait a couple months, all of those girls are going to be in pornography.
Yeah. Only
whether it's
shit like that.
They leak it themselves or whatever it is that comes out, they're always...
Well, we're all fucking perverts. Yo, Dylan, I want you to pull up this one video because this guy, did you see this guy that lost his job doing the silhouette challenge?
Yeah, let me see this. Yeah, no. I heard.
There's like a lot of people...
He was doing a silhouette challenge.
Yeah, right? So the silhouette challenge, you know what the silhouette challenge is to begin with, right?
Well, I heard about it when I heard someone goes, you know, you can take that filter off and see him actually naked.
That's the minute like, yeah, right. So, you know, there's people that do this weird little dance and shit, and the girls have been running wild with it. It's fine, having fun. I assume there was a few dudes out there who may have done it because there's some weird guys who just behave that way to get their fucking attention. But
absolutely,
didn't Common do it with
he did.
Common
robbing Tiff down.
It's strange, but at least he normalized it by being with a chick, and with a hot chick. You know, you got the video, Dylan. But this guy is a bus driver. And he just fucking, you know, you park at the end of the loop, and he just does it on the fucking bus, and he lost his job behind this shit. See if you can scroll it over to the, end of the loop or whatever. Yeah, like he got naked and spun around on the bus. He did. So The funny thing, he got fired for this, right? Which is such a dumbass thing to get fired for, right? Because bus drivers make good money. Bus drivers make good money.
Dude, if they would have let him stay, eventually in the lunchroom, somebody would have made him quit.
Exactly, and that's why they got rid of him. I think that's the reason why, because they like shit. That went public. Maybe they didn't want that kind of shit around.
I'm gonna beat him with a sock full of token rolls.
Tokens. But Jesus Christ, man!
Him with token rolls.
Like,
oh no!
I don't
That's
know,
so
because
funny.
that is kind of troubling, though. I don't know if I could be confident on the bus if I know that the driver does that. I don't know why.
That guy's not gonna make good last second decisions.
Nah, man.
Turn into the skid. I don't remember.
Nah, man. You gonna get hit at the intersection. That horse shit. He gonna drive right through the light. Yeah.
And you never know, though. You wouldn't even know. That's funny that like ass would have been on the pole. That's the last place you would have expected there to actually be ass on
Man,
the
you
pole.
already think there's ass on the pole, but there's actual ass on the pole because the
Actual
bus
ass on the
driver is trying to be sexy.
Although I think that's why
You goofy nigga.
I try to believe that's why I didn't get when I did have COVID. I guess because I had the antibodies, I never had like symptoms at all. Is because the rare times that I ride the subway or whatever, I go. I mean, I hug that pole like it's like my mom I haven't seen in a while. I'll put my face on it, the hand like on my phone, just like I don't even think about it.
Yeah.
But then if someone's like, "Isn't that gross?" I go, "Yeah." And now it's funny that the complete turnaround.
It's like, yeah.
Because of COVID now, it's like I said. This is hacky at this point almost, but like when I was watching the Britney Spears thing last night, and they were all like in a gas station store, like hundreds of photographers following her out of the. She went to the bathroom.
Yeah,
the
it was
gas
crazy.
station, and they're following her out, and all those things. I kept going like, no masks, nothing. And it's obviously a decade and a half
That's
before
how
you need
everybody
them.
was treating the
But
game.
it's just so yeah, exactly.
Everybody was like, Tampa, this is going to be what was the prediction? Or did you say it?
Yeah, that I thought he might die, but yeah. No.
Oh!
I thought that shit was weird though. That the fake audience shit that they did at the Super Bowl.
You have to pay for that.
You got to pay
That
for
shit was what?
You have to pay $100 to be in a drawing to see if you get one of the cutouts. Like, who gives
it.
a
Yeah,
shit?
so you get caught
How
on camera.
bad
I
do
felt
people
like it
want
was
to be
trying
on
to
TV?
fake us
I know,
out.
right?
Because it feels it's like why do? Because it feels like we were just being faked. Like I'm a goldfish,
I'll tell you what,
and
though.
I'm not seeing a real thing.
I'll tell you what, though. The seeing it is stupid, but I don't mind, for whatever reason, I really don't mind I've gotten used to the basketball, the Sixers games with like,
Oh, yeah.
just the announcement, they're piping in like some kind of crowd noise. Like, I don't mind it. It does.
It's like watching a
TV
video game though.
But watching it on TV, though, it's just like, I can sink into it. I don't care. Especially
get
'cause
that.
it's so goddamn good.
I mean,
Yeah.
because they be balling now. They're actually more focused now in the bubble. They be
Well,
playing.
no, they're not in the bubble anymore.
Oh, just there's no crowd.
No crowd.
Oh, okay, I got
but and they try to keep it like as many stretches. They try to keep it like big stretches at home and then big stretches out. So that they're not going away for long and traveling long. They try
Okay,
to do it
I
all.
have no, dude. I've been in the house reading books and stretching and shit.
It's not prison, dude. It's house.
Books. That's what you
No,
sound like.
I did the whole. I
sound
went
like,
all the way
Capone
back.
Noriega.
I went all the way back. No,
I found Allah.
I've been reading books.
You see, I'm wearing
drinking
black
water.
Air Force Ones
Doing
and the
push-ups.
fresh out sweatshirt. You know what I mean?
That's
You said about
books.
the teardrop tattoo and people turn their life around.
Yeah.
On that Love After Lockup show, one of the best guys that was ever, I forget his name, but he came out. He was a white dude who thinks he's an R&B singer.
Oh no,
A lot of face tattoos, but one of his face, and he's a little guy, and he's dating like this big Mexican lady. And his tattoos, he has like teardrops, but they're like here on his lip, and then everyone's like, "Oh, that's when you're the guy. When you allow yourself to be labeled the guy
That's sucking dick.
who
in
will
the-
suck dick." And, but he tries to play like
no.
yo, man. When I was doing time, it was all, and people were like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what else I feel?
"It's crazy."
You know what else I feel that way about? Like guys that used to have like tongue rings, and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, no, bitches love it," and you're like,
No, they don't.
"All right."
It don't do shit.
But also, you want me to think you're just some serial pussy eater? Like, you're just out here
That's
eating
the
all this.
advertisement. Yeah, I eat pussy.
Yeah, because no one, I don't even think women want the guy who's like, oh, this is the guy who goes down on everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Now,
I remember when my cousin got a tongue ring, and my whole
Your
family.
boy
It was like
cousin?
a tribunal. Yeah, my gay cousin.
tribunal.
It was like a gains tribunal. They was like, Paris got a tongue ring, right? I was like, oh, man. Grandma was holding it hard, and my dad was like, well, what do you think about homosexuals? That whole, because that is a stigma.
Yeah.
Like that whole tongue.
How'd your family deal with it though? They fine?
They was cool, I guess. Paris is doing his thing. Shout out to Paris. I love that motherfucker. Yeah, he's making jewelry or some shit like that. Reading
Well,
books.
that's the
He's
thing.
in
Gay
school.
people usually do their thing. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like once you
He's doing his
experience that
thing.
level of rejection at that age, now you're just
See,
focus.
it's so funny. Like I had so
Structure.
like my mom had like gay friends when I was growing up and stuff. Like I was just like not around it. My daughter, her aunt lives with her wife like next door and like their kids. So like they've been exposed to it, but like shit, I'm stoned and I had a real good point to that.
my daughter.
But so I was like coming out like of the closet or being even in Philly. I remember the two. I forget the one kid's name. He was like a Greek kid, and he was pretty obviously like effeminate for sure, and probably gay. And Andre Bond, who was definitely gay. But even in a school that was like 80% black by the time I was like left there, they never really got shit for that. It was weird. It was never like no one really overthought. And the thing was also because if you were shitty to them, they hung out with all the girls. Like all the pretty girls. So if you were like shitty to that dude, like the girls would be like, "Fuck you! You can't talk to Andre like that."
Yeah.
So it's
And
like
they was always somebody's brother too, even though you might not have saw it at school.
Oh,
Because you ever
yeah.
go to somebody's house and be like, "That's your brother this whole time," and you
Yeah.
realize
And that nigga's a killer. And that motherfucker's a whole dog.
That's
they
my
just don't
big
acknowledge
bro.
each other. They don't get on the same bus or anything.
Oh, dude, that was I told more people on this network to watch, but that movie Palmer, that new Justin Timberlake thing is great about that, like raising like an effeminate
You're
kid.
the second person I heard talk about this.
Great.
I might have to check this thing
really,
out,
really
man.
good. It's sad, but it's like it was really good. But I never saw that thing. But that documentary came out years ago called Bully, and it was about the kid with like they called him Fish Face, and they were just showing different things. Like they just follow a few different people who get bullied in their life, and like when you do get to like that, West Virginia and Montana's and stuff, and you're like, hey, I'm a lesbian. Like the town turns on, and it really shows that thing. Where it's like. When it's like everyone in that town goes to that one church, and it's like, nope, and they're like, you can't come. So it's like that is like a shit. Because I was always like, all right, gay people, where's it so bad? It seems like you're like you're in my way dancing around the streets, like
Yeah, 'cause
move,
New York
go
and
be
LA is
gay.
different,
Somewhere.
but
Yeah,
the middle, the middle, like that shit.
But even metropolitan Chicago would probably hard now. But I said, the downtown Indianapolis, growing up like that. But anywhere where you get out to like, I mean, there's definitely parts of like Jersey that are so rural that like. It would be difficult, but yeah, I just never grew up in a place that wasn't but you'd think like the city people would be more. No one was like wary of it, so people would like regularly like faggot and all that. That was never like a thing saying it, but it was never ever directed necessarily. It was like definitely calling somebody like it's an insult, but like it wasn't like if you were like I would more than I would be like a gay person like look at this faggot over here. I'd
just
say
not
that about a
doing-
guy who's straight who's like
absolutely.
He's
it is
not
still-
doing what you want him to do at the moment.
But it is still the insult of like you take it up the ass and suck dick. But then it's like, no, not you. No, you do take it up the ass and suck dick. I'm totally cool
That's
with that.
fine.
But this fucking straight dude, you take it up
can
the
do-
ass and suck dick.
You can
dude.
do whatever you want.
You suck such dick because you're such a faggot. Not you, gay guy. No, you're great.
You're great.
That's what you do. That's what God chose for you to do.
It's God's will. You're special.
Yeah. But this guy over here is a
this
faggot.
motherfucker
This
over
guy
here.
says he likes pussy, and he gets it up the ass and sucks dick.
I like those guys too who don't let up on it. Like for the rest of the day, huh? Come on, yeah. You still do it, don't you? Like that extreme bullying. You know?
Oh, yeah.
It's time to get something to eat, huh? You want anything, cock cobbler? Huh?
Boy, me and the three white guys in the Puerto Rican. Remember that show?
I remember.
The
I remember.
AM. Yeah, those guys.
I remember.
They were odd dudes.
Odd.
Yeah, but
You got me my first spot at Helium based off that show. 'Cause
Yeah?
I had did a spot on there. It was weird. It was weird. And he called in. I think he either called in. And I was like, hey, man, let me open for you.
Saint Gagnez. I always remember
Yeah, Saint Gagnez. I Spanish-fied my name. I made my name.
Derek had some shit in his career, man.
Gagnez,
Jesus.
bruh. Let me
Gagnez.
explain why.
I love
My
Derek.
mother let me do anything artistic. She was like, well, if it helps you, you'll figure it out. You'll figure out if you like it or not. Yeah, and then Saint Gagnez was it, and then one or two girls I liked said it, and then after that, I didn't like it no more. Went back to straight gains. It's nice, but no.
Yeah,
in
Derek,
Spanish class in 10th grade, I called myself Darique Gagnez and tried to make it fly, and it didn't work. It just did. Ferrari, Ferrari
Took the
game.
shot though.
Derike
Instead of Derek. I was trying to put a little cha-cha on my name and
So
shit.
it's so racist, but you were exploring yourself.
Because my Spanish teachers called me Alejandro, but I hate my middle name.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, man, fuck the Alejandro. Derike Gagnez. Let's see where this goes. Nowhere. I even tried it on open mic list sometimes. Still dumb.
But but with that show,
Yeah, I remember.
we had on this guy Ari, who was doing comedy at the time in New York, like Boston Comedy Club guy. Bald dude. He was one of the guys that was around for like a stretch. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I was friendly with him. But he was like a bit of like, his comedy was all like, you know, how cool he is and smoking pot. There was nothing like self-effacing about it all. If it was like very, you could tell he didn't mean it.
Okay.
Even, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
like, I got to say something
Yeah.
self-effacing.
I know them guys.
So like, he didn't mean it at all. And he came down with us one time because we would just go and do that show. It was fun. It was before podcasting and everything. So it was like a radio thing. And you're like, all right.
I remember radio.
We're on the radio. It's like AM radio. And we go down, me, him, and Kurt go down there and we do it. And at one point he says, very seriously, this guy Ari, he was like, he's like, yeah, he goes, I did karate. And we're like, oh, did you do karate there, master? And we're doing all that kind of shit. And like, who was your sensei? And stuff like that. He goes, no, I actually dedicated my life to it for like, first of all, he goes, I dedicated my life to it for 4 years, which is like, it's not even long enough to say I dedicated my life to it.
Dedicated my life.
You're already
like
30.
Like it's Jesus. Like karate Jesus. Jesus
Yeah. I dedicated my life to this. So I'm like, no. So then we had, somebody went in the other room and called in, like they were his, you know, it was like, one of the guys on the radio show was like, this is Ari Sensei. And we're just laughing and having fun. But he's not laughing. But it's definitely something if the same thing was being to you. If you said something like that, he goes, no, I dedicate my life to this. And then you know in your head already goes, I shouldn't have said I dedicate they're going to hammer me. But you laugh with it because you're like, it is funny to laugh at. He wasn't laughing. We got in the car ride home. We're driving back to New York. And he's upset in the back. Me and Kurt are like, what's the problem, dude? And he goes, you guys are like bullying me in there. I don't like that. He goes, and he goes, I go, bullying you? I'm like, how? And he was like, no. He goes, but he wasn't saying that he was a victim. He goes, I don't like that because I do bullying. That's what he was saying. He goes, I could beat you guys in a fight. So like, I don't get bullied by you, which was such a weird thing. I go, first of all, I have no idea if you could beat me in a fight.
Right.
I go, Kurt, probably. But Kurt's never been in a fight. You know what I mean at that point? But I was forgetting Kurt's like a huge guy. You know what I mean?
Right.
guy.
But I was like, either way, even Kurt was like, I don't know. What does that have to do with anything? He was like, because you guys were just going at me back there. I go, yeah, it was like ball busting comedy though. He's like, yeah, but you bully. He goes, and his word, he goes, you bully the weak. And I was like, and I'm not weaker than you guys. And I was like, I've never looked at, I go, dude, my first thing is always like the handsomest guy and built guy in the front row. Like, that's the guy I'm going to like go. And even that I'm going at him like playfully and fun. But I'm more like, but let's give this guy some shit.
Yeah.
Even if it's all nice stuff, it goes, dude, you look great. He goes, tell me you got like a small dick.
Yeah.
You little dick mother. But so I just give him like, even if it's like the razzing of like, it's all, I'm not trying to ever hurt anyone's feelings, but like more than I'll go like, what's this dork's deal? I try to get the dork guy laid by, you know, or like I build him up and shoot the big guy down. But I don't have a problem with either of them. You know what I mean? But it's like, that's more fun is to take somebody's like up on the high thing and like even it out a little bit.
Punching up, as they say, right?
Sure, but they say, but punching down.
Because punching up is just saying that the other motherfucker's down. That's the crazy thing.
Right. So I'm saying the punch. I've never understood. I'm like, I always just go like, if the front row's 60% black people, like there's going to be a bunch of black jokes. Like, do you know what I mean? Like if the front row is oddly Asian or oddly all chicks or something, you know, it's like whatever it is. I'm just going to work with that.
With that thing.
Nothing more harmful to one than the other.
I've seen you address crowds that way, and it's funny because you do speak that way to go, this crowd is oddly Asian. Like that would sound
call it and
that
then do
would
it.
sound like you had to write that, but that's actually the way you talk. So you know what I mean? It's funny.
A bunch of Asian,
Yeah, because I would find that shit hilarious. Be like, God damn, I need to write a joke like that.
Yeah.
That's not even a fucking joke.
I used to watch you at the old stand just paint pictures. I'm like, how the fuck is he just up there?
It gets in the detail.
Like,
it gets in the
I'd
really
be like, how the fuck are you doing
really
this every
graphic
weekend, Jay?
What is that? What is that for
You
you?
never did any of the crowd work shows. You never did the crowd work shows for you. Did crowd work
I know.
shows. Have you never done them?
No.
I don't think I ever did the crowd work show.
If we,
I ain't have enough confidence to do the crowd work.
How do black guys?
great
How
at
do you
it.
feel like? How do you rate black guys on crowd work versus white comics? You see any difference on that? Like, you know any great black crowd work guys?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. There's some really great crowd work.
Like, Kareem is great when he gets a hold of something. Kareem Green.
Oh, yeah.
If he gets a hold of something in crowd work.
I always thought Touré was fucking amazing with the crowd.
And to say he don't do it. He just I'm gonna get you and I'm gonna go it. Nah, but he be doing it. I've seen two at many ski weekends.
Two knows, like, Two is not like a 5 move guy. Like, that guy, he's got so many different like responses.
Yeah.
That to him it's not crowd work. He's literally like, oh no, I know like 2,000 different responses for the situation, and he just kind of fires them off. He's been doing it for so long, you know.
But I mean, no, I haven't seen anybody particularly better than other. I mean, and then also people I said like Todd Barry, who I would have thought hates crowd work comedy, did like a crowd work special. So I thought that was always like, I thought he hates when the crowds talk so much.
yeah, he don't like it.
But but he did a crowd work thing though. So no, I think it's like, honestly, I think if you're funny and you've built that thing where it's like you feel confident, there's some comics we all know, I'm sure, without naming names, where it's like, how's this dude like a comic? Like, he's boringly serious all day long. It's like when I get on any phone call with anybody, I have to start like, even like dumb. I said as dumb as it sounds, I've broken this down stone before so many times. Like, I pick up the phone for any friend, or when I text them, I'm like, hey handsome, hey hunk. You know what I mean? It's like, because it's just stupidly like, somehow it's opening that it's like, this isn't serious at all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So everything's just like kind of.
I'm too fucking serious sometimes when outside of comedy.
We've told.
I know hanging, I can hang, but sometimes like when I text and call and shit like that on the phone, I don't really fuck around on the phone like that.
Yeah,
we just don't talk. But like
I don't
know
talk
me.
to this
When
nigga.
when it's communal, we meet at a hang. Oh. Let's
best guy.
But I'm just saying, it's like you want, like, it's like if I didn't try to say something like at least upbeat or funny in a phone call, like, it's like people would be, I feel like someone would be like, what's wrong with Jay? Like, it was just like a straight up like, yeah, sure, yeah, I'll be there then. You know what I mean? I tend to be much more just kind of like,
I'm that. I am that. Like, I'm bad at that shit. I'll be, okay.
But again, even in the thing, but even around comics, like you said, in person thing.
Yeah.
You tend to be the funny person. If we're not the quiet person, I'm the quiet person or the funny person. Because like, if I'm at a place like, you know, if someone's like, hey, come back to my much more famous than you backstage. Like, I like, you know, I'll see like a Nate Bargatze show backstage and be like, hi, how are you? It's nice to see you. Because like, I don't want to get anybody's way. I also have that big guy syndrome that you guys might, where you're like, I'm taking up a lot of space back there too. I was like, I'm tall.
You're not like a spotlight hog either. You're. I think I share that also. Like, you're one of the people that, hey, look, I'd rather just be funny over here with my people.
Yeah.
Like, and the minute people find out you're funny and go, oh, Jay, make the whole room laugh. And you're like,
Yeah.
There's only a few people that can do that.
That's
like
not
Matt
what
Richards,
I wanted to
one
do.
Of one of the funniest motherfuckers in New York City. He can walk in a room and he'll take the room.
Yeah.
Me, I'm not like that. If I get with the clique, then all right, we having a good time.
Right.
And then I berate
you hear the
anybody
explosions in the corner.
yeah.
You think of the corner? Yeah, I'm much more like that too. I'd rather just have my pop. But that was my thing. Like, I always say that about they asked that, were you popular in high school question? Like, no.
To my people.
I wasn't popular, but I wasn't like getting chicks and all that kind of popular. I go, but everyone like kind of knew me, but I also had like my group of people. But it was always like more than I wanted to be like the crew of like a popular kid. I'm like, I'll just kind of like have my crew of derelicts. Do you know what I mean? Like, where it's like
the misfits.
Yeah, I'd rather be part of the suggestions of what we do than like just going like, what are we doing? Okay, I guess we hang out at the McDonald's parking lot tonight, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. I want to play basketball or whatever. So like that's kind of the thing. It's always like having, and I got weird shit for that when I was, cause, you know, when the way I was brought in up here with Keith and then Patrice and those guys all kind of taking to us and getting to know all those Voss and Norton and everybody in that circle. Aside from like, you know, Patrice was like, our friendship was friendship, but it was also like mentor friendship too, where it was just like people where I'm like, yo, let's play video games. Like Patrice wasn't that guy at all, you know? So like when I would kind of find my friends, people, I got a lot of, so like, it's funny, like the Lewises and Daves and stuff, they used to be like, where's your entourage of guys? I'm like, no, these guys are funny, man. Like, I'm hanging with these guys. Like, I'm not hanging with them because they follow me. I'm hanging with them because like they make me laugh. And, like, we like hang together. So, and it was all over the place. You know what I mean? When me and Kareem lived near each other, we were like every day hangout friends, me and Kareem Green. And then we moved like, just didn't live near each other anymore in like, you know, life. But like, I love all those guys. Like, yeah, I have so many friends from that. I said that. So Tony Roberts is still, when I say Tony Roberts is in my top 5 favorite comics, someone goes, Tony Roberts, I go, dude, jump on Amazon Prime, and it won't even do it justice.
Yeah.
Because like his recordings, weirdly enough, don't do his comedy.
Don't do it
It's
justice.
live,
His
man.
Def
Something about
Jams
that.
was good.
Yeah.
I was like, his Def Jams killed. But yeah,
And
man.
one of his Shaq things is fucking great. Really makes me laugh a lot. But yeah, on the recordings, it always it makes me laugh. But I'm like, no, it's this guy live is like insane.
Everything's like that. You got to be in the fucking room, man. Being in the room is
Tony is
better.
a beast.
I
used
can't
to
wait
watch
for
like
the
I
live
can't
shit to
follow
come
that
back out.
shit. Who would want to ever go after that? Yeah, like
Dude,
yeah.
he was say, like, and it's like Dave Attell and Kurt in that regard. Like it's real rapid fire stuff. There's nothing like he's not painting you a picture or making a point or having a story about a
Being
thing.
funny.
It's just like they're like he goes, I don't like sucking small titties. I don't like sucking small. Looks like I'm trying to bite a nail out of a wall. It's all nothing.
But he thought
You ever
of
get
it.
so high that you bring the cops to the guy who got you high? That's him there, officer.
I don't know how they come up because that's like the black high energy Mitch Hedberg shit. You know, just a quick one liner. You know what I mean? Like I can't do that.
It's like this
one
one-liner. It's like little pictures he paints, but it's like that. He goes, I brought the cops to the guy's drug. He goes, there's him right there, officer.
My annoying ass grandmama came in my room. Tony, why are your clothes on the floor? He said, bitch, they sleep. And I
Or he was also like the comedy I learned from him, like the comedy of like we're just choosing the words. Because he had like one thing that was like, he goes, I don't fuck with young girls no more. Young girls always smell like fried chicken and bunk beds. And it's like, what? It's just two words. And you're like, it doesn't matter.
They don't go together.
Yeah.
Jam them together. They
you
funny.
a pimp
Yeah.
with a roommate. You need your ass beat. that
Jesus,
shit used to
That's
Who
the-
thinks
kill me.
like that?
You
Who
wanna
thinks
be,
like
you want to be a
that?
thug? You got to be a thug all the time. You can't be thugging one day and the next day at the flower shop going, let me get a dozen daffodils, 3 tools. He goes, and your boys see you down the street. They go, Tony, what you doing? He goes, robbing this motherfucker. And he goes, just give me $20. I'll stop hitting you.
I have
Comedy,
no
man.
idea how to write like that, man. I wish I could. Jesus
The
Christ,
amazing
man.
writers, the David
This is
Tell,
dope.
Tony Roberts, and the Big J Oakerson as well. You got anything to plug, Jay? I know we did it at the end, but fuck it.
Oh, yeah. BigJComedy.com for all my dates. I have some stuff coming where it's happening, so I'll update on that. Bonfire should be coming back any day now to Sirius XM. And besides that, right here on the network, SDR Show, Legion of Skanks, Six and Jump on Patreon. It's me, Ari Shafir, and Dan Soder going through
Those three cool
the
guys.
episodes of 21 Jump Street from beginning to end.
Word.
Interesting time, the evolution of Johnny Depp.
Interesting.
Very interesting time watching him go from what he was to what he is. And yeah, besides just listening to my stuff, I got my Netflix Degenerates Episode 1, Season 1,
Good shit.
and Live at Webster Hall is available on Amazon. and everything.
Word.
Thank you
got,
guys,
Dave?
man.
Anything?
The second one is available on my website, DaveTempleComedy.com. Check out my other podcast, Unpopular Opinions. We go live on Instagram Tuesdays and Thursdays, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Well, February 14th, the special, the mini garage special I'm putting out while I was at
awesome.
home anyway.
It's an awesome idea. I love that.
I'm putting it out on the
Here,
Nnfa YouTube
y'all
page.
unlocked it, motherfucker.
Y'all
2,000
unlocked
subscribers.
It. Thanks
We
for
did it.
following us. So you unlocked it. It's going to be out Sunday, 4/20. It's coming out. So if you're a weed aficionado, you can smoke it and watch it. Is this motherfucker really doing a special in his garage? Yeah, absolutely. My mom directed it, and we had some fun. What else is going on? And keep an eye out for Last OG Season 4. We start filming in April.
Oh, shit.
It's going to be a
shit.
fun time. I finally got some contractual emails that lets me know I'll be in the show. So it's going to be good. Oh, shit. And on podcast merch, we have the Why Was I At Home Anyway hoodies on sale for the special. If you want to get a hoodie, they're out now for limited time only for the 14th. Do they come out on the 14th still?
Yeah, it's limited time only
My
between the
nigga
14th and the
Negri.
21st. But also, in case you got yourself a pair of black Air Force Ones.
You got some black. Show them the goddamn
The fresh
black on
out.
black.
The fresh out.
The fret.
Ain't nothing to go back.
By the way, I like in the picture. It looks like the black Air Force One is putting his knee on the neck of that fucking white Air Force One. Finally, yeah.
That's right.
Fucking suck that shit. Eat the floor, bitch.
That's right. Shout out to Tiana and everybody that's against these motherfuckers. This is the shoe to have, the fresh outs.
All right, man.
Black on
But
black.
thank you guys for tuning in. This has been No Need for
Oh,
Apology.
can I say something
Yeah, go
before
ahead.
we hang up? But I'll do because I said I to have a sentimental moment at all. But like the Philly guy, we have such a great presence up here now, man. You guys started a few years after me and stuff. So
Yeah.
you guys just here on the network. And why I said I've known Derek forever now and Dave for years now. So like it's so cool. Like I love. There's always that cool, but I don't know any of the Philly guys who don't like each other.
Yeah.
All across the board, from the Shane crew to everybody. It's all.
We
It's
watched
all
y'all
love, man.
leave, and we was like, "Oh, I gotta get the fuck up there."
It's fucking
and
love,
then
man.
I came up,
Yeah,
brought
'cause we
everybody up,
still
and I'm
get
glad to
those-
see.
Still get
all of
we
us
used to get
kicking.
too much of those taps. Hey, tell that person. I was like, all right, let me get out of here.
Yeah, y'all left. And
We
we was
left.
like, we
We
like
left.
that shit. Let's go too. We
Hell
can't
yeah,
stay here
man.
and be like, you remember when? Nah, we used to do the reef. It had the oxtails, and we used to do it in like a porch, but it was
I
inside.
would do it again. I would do it again. They put something together.
The reef was fun though. That was a good. That was a good black room. That was a good, mean, fun.
Talking too much.
So
local
Sean
shit.
Clay.
Go ahead, Clay. Shout out to Sean Clay.
I'm going back to my apology tour again. Who else do I have to talk to? Sean Clay. I love Sean Clay. I had to say something.
The apology. The Mona apology. All right, y'all. Thank you for tuning in.